Already, finally got the 5K main event, EPT Online from 2021. We got Oxada, Wattenlos, Great Dant, Ben CP, What If God. Did I see Pivgar? I saw Pivgar. Yes, I'm so excited for Pivgar. We got Eduardo, Orp the Turk. Did I get everybody? Nope, not Raymond. Raymond Colilias. Not very good at pronouncing names, even if they're written out there. Eduardo with Ace Queen will just take down the first hand. Pre-flop. Raymond with pocket nines. 116 bigs for them. Wattenlos are their big stack. 102 bigs. What If God in third. 91. Ace 5 suited for Eduardo under the gun. He will just let that go. The Pink Power Ranger. Maybe it's a she. Eduardo? It would be an interesting name choice. Anyways, Orp the Turk. Pocket Kings. Raising it up. Don't see any action for them there. Orp the Turk, not Orc, my bad. Are shorty, 20 bigs. Great Dant with your King 9 suited here. No clubs for them. Wattenlos' 5s are holding on up. Ace on the river. Great Dant could buy the pot if they want it. Wonder if 5s call a bet on the river. Pivgar Queen 8 suited. So we got another stacked final table. It's very difficult to pick anybody. Did I not say Ben CB? I think I did. Ben CB, 26 bigs hanging in there. See, another stacked final table. Very difficult to determine who's going to win just by looking at it. Whose position do I like? Potentially What If God? You might have the best position. Wattenlos to your right. Raymond on the opposite side of the table from you. Great Dant, you could still attack their big blind in the cutoff. I do like What If God's position. You know what? I was looking at Great Dant with 74 bigs there. I like what they got going on. I've seen a lot of good things from them. Big fan of Pivgar, but I hate their position. Having Wattenlos, the big stack to your left. Oxada. What If God, that's pretty bad spot to be in. Ben CP taking the King 3 off there. Don't remember what Great Dant opened, but just to get it through, it's pretty big and important for them. Ben CP getting 6s. Facing a raise from the cutoff from Raymond. Wattenlos with Kings in the big. And then Pivgar with 10s. Hopefully Pivgar finds a call here. Does put in the 3-bet. Large portion of his chips. Kings in the big, putting the cold 4-bet. Boom, 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 boom. Find the fold. Find the fold. Find the fold. Move along. Hang on out a little longer. Pivgar jams. Gonna need that 10. Nope. Pivgar is our first bust out. That's a darn shame. And with that being said, I suppose I'm gonna make my selection of Great Dant. Make the selection Great Dant. Man, these sentences are getting more difficult as the days keep passing by. 8-6 deuce flop. Pair of 5s go for a little bet. What If God comes along, of course. 5 on the river, eh? Pretty dirty river. Ben CP also the straight draw to the 4. But the set will do. It is a one-liner out there. 7-9's the nuts. Ben CP's thinking, do I put in a raise or do I just call here? It's a very small bet. Does just play call in the end. Boo, 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 boo. Never gonna fold there with the set. Just thinking about, do I raise or do I just call? So Great Dant, 71 bigs. My crystal ball says, fuck you, what if God, even if you attack me in the cutoff and I'm in the big blind, I'll play back at you. I see Great Dant taking a few pots off these shorties. Who knows how? Maybe some blind on blind action against Orp the Turk. Maybe Eduardo gets a little crazy on the button. Great Dant after you pick up some chips here. Find yourself in a comfy third place position. You can start to attack Ben CB. Even though Ben CB attacked him back, we saw it with the King 3-0. Uh-oh, maybe Great Dant's a bad pick. Who cares? That's my pick. I'm going to talk it into being. What if God? 3-betting King. Ben CB with the 4-betting hand. Does just find the fold though. Good timing there. Eduardo, let's go of ace 10-0, facing an early position raise. Does just want to find a better spot there. Do-do-do-do. Watt and low, right back in there. What if God playing call with the ace king? Again, I saw this last EPT final table with, I think it might have been ace king suited. Saw flat. In a similar, but like they're a little bit different. I think there was a little bit less shorties. But again, so it's the thought process is, what if God says, hey, I don't want to bloat this pot. If I flop well, I'll flop well. If not, then I'll just leave the hand. It's really weird. I don't ever expect it with the ace king, but it's the hand players use. Huge bet on the river here. Watnos does block queen 10. So they are thinking about making the call down. You would expect ace king to raise pre. Watno says, well, I will call you down with my ace. Nice slow play from What If God. Pre-flop gets 3 streets of value. What a setup here. Ace queen under the gun. Ace king under the gun +1. +2. Orp the Turk. Queen. Surely we find it. Oh, he just split up, finds the fold. What if God gets this in? 2 of his queens are dead. Wow. Just like that. Queen in the muck. Eduardo picks up a little pot. Interesting stuff. I don't know what to say about the queen fold. I've seen it before, but more so from deeper stacks. So if he had 50 big blinds and we're playing like 50 effective, and then there's a few shorties, if you see a raise, a 3-bet, you can fold your queens. Even as, okay, so another thing is I've seen raise under the gun with queens, cold 3-bet, cold 4-bet, and then the queens fold, and the 4-better has jacks. 3-better has some like ace 10 suited or some shit. It was a pretty crazy hand, but again, like, it made so much sense in the position where the queens was the middling stack, the big stack obviously had ace 10, and then another middling stack did the cold 4-betting. And I'm pretty sure they were early to mid position. And then like in the time it just made sense. I think there was 1 or 2 10 to 12 big blind stacks. You just see that action, you got pocket queens, you're like, well, fuck. In this situation, you see raise from the big stack under the gun, 3-bet with the ace king suited. It was very small too, it wasn't an all-in sizing, which is interesting, because he only had like 20 big blinds. Orp the Turk says, I'll just fold the queens. 15 big blinds. It's hard to find a better hand with 15 big blinds, but it's hard to see scarier action than that. Ace 9 for Eduardo, making a pair. Watt and Los in position. We'll just check back the flop. Runner, jack. Nobody's got a jack. 9's got to feel pretty comfy here. Very small bet. 400k into about 1.3 million. And we see a call from the 6s. Wow. So Orp the Turk under the gun will raise ace 9-0. Good for them to get that through. 13 blinds. A few antes. Allow them to survive just a little bit longer. And they're thinking about defending the queen 3 here. They do come along. King Jack 5. Should be what if God's pot. Very small bet on the flop will do. Wattenlos with 9-10 suited. I see a raise coming in. And then I'm thinking Orp the Turk. What do we do here with Ace Jack? I like a jam, but we'll see what they go with. There it is. Wattenlos 111 bigs. Imagine they're going to be playing quite a few hands. Great defends from the small blind with ace queen. What if God picks up a few more outs on the turn with a 6 to go along with his jack for the straight draw, but he just folds. A jack would put a one-liner out there to a king, so it is a weird spot. Ben CP flopping the flush draw here. Ace high board. Plays call, turns a jack. Well, that's a fair card. 9 on the river. Sevens. I wonder what we're doing here. Is this turning itself into a bluff? Benzie B folds. Nicely done by Wattenlos. Getting the pair of jacks to fold. Benzie B, 20 bigs, 3s. We'll just rip it in. Makes a lot of sense. If you were deeper, you could play limp, and then if they raise, you can jam. Being 20 big blinds, sub 20 big blinds, you can just rip it in yourself. Wattenlos, queen and a 4. What do we do with our nothing draw but our queen high? Oxada drawing to a 9. 5 is not the card. Wattenlos with the queen of clubs does stab at it. Gets the job done, doesn't face any river aggression. Ooh, what if God with 8-8? Raymond, ace queen suited. So Raymond's taking the approach of I'll play a little bit tighter. 10-8 deuce flop. Did you take a stab on the flop here? With the 2 overs in the backdoor nut flush. Hopefully what if God just calls. There we go, diamond on the turn. Action card. Ooh, check back though. Raymond says, let me just realize my equity. And he does just find a quick fold on the river. So not too much action for the set. Eduardo, queen 9 suited, comes along flopping the flush draw. Wattenlos. King Jack still good. Picking up a straight draw. Interesting. Bombs away. Eduardo just looking for a club. This is a large portion of his chips. At a 4.7 million behind if he calls. Club on the river. Quick check. Eduardo wins. 42 bigs for Eduardo. Hanging in there. Great dant raising under the gun with ace 7 suited. 9-5-3 flop. 1 spade for him. Small bet on the flop. From the big stack. What do we do? I would like to see a check raise for whatever reason. Just because I see Wattenlos has queen jack. So unfortunately, Great Dant loses 2 big blinds. Moves along. What if God with king puts in the 3-bet? Oxada, ace 10, oh, surely we just fold, right? Could always 4-bet all in. Okay, 4-bet not all in. Wowie wee wah. And then what if God jams? But still nice little interesting bluff there with the ace 10-0. It's one of those hands, you know, it makes you think. Definitely don't want to call. Being one of the middling stacks. Oxada says, I'm probably opening a pretty tight range here. I'll put a lot of pressure on you with a 4-bet. Just unfortunate that what if God wakes up with kings again. Both players with the same straight draw here. Raymond with a better pair. 4, just no help. Raymond goes for a pot size. River value bet. Oxada thinking it over with the pair of 10s and the straight blocker. Again, it's one of those spots where I don't think you want to call, so maybe you're thinking about raising. Jam? No, he just finds the fold instead. Blocking 2 pairs, blocking the straight. Interesting spot. Maybe not versus the big bet. He bet like pot, so you can maybe just fold. Because calling seems way too wide there. Although, to be fair, you do need to call down with some hands. And a pair with the straight blocker is a good hand to call down with. And you're not only going to have queen jack and king jack there. So it's an interesting spot where Oxada could have talked himself into a call. As we see it raise from the short stack. Bensi B wakes up with ace king though. Orp the Turk with queen 10 suited. Cannot call. 11 big blinds left for them. Raymond, ace 10-0. Raising it up. Getting it through. Blinds go up. Uh-oh. What if God? What do we do here? Okay, just plays call with the suited ace. Orp the Turk gets a chance to go to a flop as well. He does flop a pair of 5s, which is the best of it. Stack the pot ratio for them is about 1-1. Deuce of hearts on the turn. After it checks through, I don't know what the hell to do with a 5, but I could see an all-in. For some protection, just do it. Stick it in. You don't want to call a bet. Okay, so he bets very tiny. Great Dant, come along. Raise? Jam? No, he can't jam. But he does stick in the raise. There it is. And Orp the Turk finds the fold with the pair of 5s. Nicely done, Great Dant. So it's just a little pot off Orp the Turk, but nonetheless, he's still putting some pressure on him. Orp the Turk gets in ace 8, but the 10 on the flop, that will do. Orp the Turk is our second knockout. I mean, nice spot for Oxada with the Jack 10 suited. They're just hoping to get it through, but then they see that they've got about 40-some%. Probably high 40s. As we see a set, but what if God makes straight on the river? Oh no, Bensi B was going to get a full double there. Instead, what if God makes a straight on the river? As he had already said. 7th place for Bensi B. Eduardo with 9-9. I gotta say, I'm a big fan of how this final table has gone. It's just been fun to watch. Great Dant hasn't picked up a big stack yet, but we've seen a little action from them, a little pokey here and there. 6s for Oxada will just get through. Oh, and I see kings. And I see a 4-betting hand. What are we going to do here, kings? I like the sizing. Give him a chance to put it in. And he does. Quick jam from Watton, though. Oh, he's got the club draw and the wheel draw. Nope, neither hit. Damn it. Well, I mean, what does that matter? Eduardo picks up a big stack. 57 bigs. So one of our shorties does find a way to double on up after picking up some chips. Right back in the game, 4th place. An ace jack suited. What the hell do we do with it? This is a huge raise from the big blind. Ace jack suited in the muck. Ace 9 suited in the muck. Way to go, Raymond. I thought he was going to play tight, but, he's using reasonable cards. So it's like, if you're waiting for reasonable cards, you're just going to be playing a little bit slower than if you're quite aggressive, obviously. Queen, queen. We'll put in the raise pre-flop from the small. We'll just see a fold from the big. Great down pocket 7s. What do we do? Play call? Let's go to a flop dealer. Okay, never mind. Great dance. Like, well, 1-7's dead. We can just fold. Queens get a walk. What a shame. Woo! Pair of queens for Watton. Nothing for Edward. Move along. Get crazy, Eduardo. Queen 3 suited. Limping it in, facing a raise. Get crazy. 4 bet. No, this would be a 3 bet. But instead, Eduardo folds. What if God raising it up? Getting it through. Ace and a 4, taking it down. Oxada staying nice and active. King Jack suited, 18 blinds. Uh-oh. Jam. Do it. Do it. That's such a small raise. Oh, this is pretty scary from Wattenlos. We're going to a flop Jack high board. Wattenlos stabs 1/3 of what Oxada has left. He puts it in. Takes it down on the flop. Do. Great Dan. 8 and a Jack. Hey, it's suited. Facing a raise from Wattenlos, who's staying nice and aggressive. King Queen O. Doesn't quite have the chips like they used to, but 60 blinds is still plenty to play with. And I gotta say, I like what I'm seeing from Oxada in the short stack. Staying aggressive, picking up pots. They do slow down this time. Jack 10 completes on the river. No pair for What If God. This is a weird situation for them. No club but the 10 blocker. King high. What If God does find the fold. Nice bluff there on the river from Oxada. Like us saying, staying aggressive. Picking pots off every once in a while. Flopping top pair here. Eduardo with middle pair top kicker. 450k to go. 9 on the turn. That's bad news for Oxada. Eduardo leads out very tiny. Super wet board. 8-7 Queen 10 are both open-ended straight draws. There's flush draws. Spades get there. So let's start to count out the straight draws as Oxada is going to think about this huge river bet. Queen 10, 10-8, 8-7, 8-5, hearts miss. Does the worst Jack go for river value there after the board lead out on the turn? Probably not a Jack. Plenty of straight draws out there though. And the front door flush draw missed. Raymond with the nuts here. Great Dan with a quick fold with the pair of 7s. Meow meow meow. Whoa wee wah Oxada. Off 17 bigs. Showing no respect to these players. Great Dan does find the 3-bet with ace 10-0. Nicely done by Great Dan, finding another small stack to pick on. Oxada has gained some respect, so they get a walk there. I mean, Oxada's probably always got the respect. But I just mean this final table, the way it's playing out. Once you got somebody kind of being a bully, doing a great job of taking down pots even off the short stack, you know they're going to be a hard person to take the blinds down away from. Wattenlos isn't afraid, it's just a little respect. Top 2 pair for What If God. Eduardo's aces are going to need a little help here. A 5, a 4, or an ace. A 10 will not be it. And you know what? Well, 10 isn't that horrific for Eduardo. As you see an all-in, that's pretty rude. Okay, so King Jack misses, Jack 9 misses, hearts miss, 6-7 misses, 5-4 gets counterfeit. Eduardo does just fold the aces and move along with 40 bigs. I thought for sure he was dead. What If God got a little greedy there on the river, but I mean, that's the hand of jam. Maybe queens? Unblocking a 10? Who knows there? I mean, Queen 10 can't be a bad all-in. Boom, 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 boom. Wattenlos, ace 5 suited. Great Dan, Jack 9, oh in the big. Let's go to a flop. Nope, not this time. Oxada, king 9 suited this time. Another 3-bet from Great Dant. Raymond with ace queen in the big. Does just fold. Oh my lordy poo. And Great Dant gets respect. He's sitting there nice and quiet. Raymond folds ace queen in the big. Nicely done, Great Dant. Finding a way to take a few pots. Again putting a pressure on a short stack. Getting the big stack out of there. Nice. Pair of 9s for What If God. Queen high board. Plenty of flush. Or, well, the spade draws out there. 6-7 makes a straight. Who's gonna have 6-7? Maybe Raymond. 6-7 of spades. Raise from the small blind. Did he just flat? I wonder what happened there. Could go back and see the action pre-flop, but not gonna do that. Oxada with top pair, the straight draw. Raymond with the ace high. Hard to fold ace high. 10 on the river. Double paired board. 6 is counterfeit. We could see a call from Raymond here. Spades do get there. That sucks. Oxada could take any 8, any 9. Who knows? We'll see what Raymond does. Raymond does find the fold on the end there. It's no value for the full house, but oh, Great Dant finds a fold from the 8s. Raymond comes along with 9s. What If God in the big with Jack 8 suited. Eduardo under the gun pre-flop razor checks it over to Raymond. Oh, and What If God leads on out on a good board for the big blind. Could rep the 7, any 5 or 4 as well. Of course, he's got the diamond draw. Could have any 6. Sounds like What If God's like, well, I could have so many fucking bluffs here. I'm just gonna check it on over. Raymond even goes for some values with the 9s, trying to get called by a 5 or 4. What If God going big from the small. Just a little bit under 3.5x. Top pair for Eduardo. Hard to flop better than this. 10 of spades is weird. You got the flush draw now, but you don't have the best pair. 7 on the river. 1 9 or 2 and 8. What If God says, I'm not going to try to rep it. You either have a 6 or a 9, or some sort of 8-7, 8-10 sort of holding. Duke. Don't do it, Oxada. Jeez, 10-6. No, probably just looking away from the screen. 8 deuce with the lead here, but Raymond in position could always stab on any street. No, he says 8 deuce. I'm just gonna check it all the way down. No value for you, Great Dant. So I'm looking at our stacks here. I think Eduardo and Great Dant, they're probably gonna want to tighten up for a little bit. Let one of these other stacks pick off Oxada. Until then, What If God's probably going to put a lot of pressure on Eduardo from the small blind. I don't expect Raymond to let Great Dant see too many flops. What do we do with ace-10 here? What if God's going to have such a wide raise or opening range? Ooh, bad flop for the ace-10. What if God looking pretty? 3 of a kind, ace-10 comes along. Hopefully can find a fold here. Nice quick fold by Great Dant. Eduardo, we'll see if he's still staying active. King 8 suited, does raise it up. Great Dant comes along with ace queen. Raymond with 3s. Queen Jack deuce flop. No 3, no diamonds, so Great Dant pretty well has this one locked up, providing there's no 3 or king. We'll just see a bet and a take it. 34 bigs and pocket 8s for Great Dant. Oxada could always do some stop and go. Does flop top pair. Uh-oh. And the pair of 8s see a safe board. Okay, here's my question. Does a 6 and a 3 jam, or do they call? What does a queen do? It raises all in as well. No 8. Full double for Oxada. That's a damn shame. Great Dant now are shorty with ace queen. Raymond with king 10 suited comes along. 8-7 and big blind comes along as well. King Jack 3 flop. 1 spade and 1 heart. Great Dant fires away. Very small bet though. Gonna need a 10 or ace. A 10 would be real dirty. Great Dant bombs again. I mean, it's a pretty small bet, so king 10's not that afraid. 5 of hearts on the river. If king 10 is thinking anything, it's like, well, just keep putting more chips in the pot, you fool. Unless you see a jam on the river. This is not fun. You're like, okay, it was fun on the turn. On the river, I'm not so happy. Raymond does find the fold. Nice bluff there by Great Dant. I wasn't expecting it. I thought the ace queen might just check it down, but I love to see it. Putting king 10 in a pickle. A pot that Raymond was looking to win. Instead, Great Dant's out of last place. Back tied with Eduardo. Watnos, unfortunately, has been hanging on out. Might see a flop here with pocket 3s. But again, another unfortunate flop for them. They'll quickly fold. Nope. Okay, well, what's going to happen here? Do you turn your 3s into a bluff? There it is. Very small bet. If he gets ace 10 to fold, this is just a great play. Ace 10 does find the call. Does that mean it's a bad play? No, but I'm just thinking it's amazing if he gets pair 10s to fold there on the river. I do like that he turned it into a bluff. Maybe if you pick a different size. Maybe not, though. Funny little hand any which way you want to think about it. Pair of 3s is good for here. What if God is being put in a pickle, though? Wattenlos is super aggressive. Nicely done. Raymond with a couple of ace hands. Ace with a high card. Ace 10 and ace queen. That's kind of fun. What if God comes along with ace 10 of hearts? Great Dant with ace deuce. Oh, puts it in the 3-bet from the big. Again, this looks scary, but... Well, what does Raymond do? You don't want to jam. You don't want to... Does he call? Oh, he does put in the 4-bet. Nicely done. Saying, Great Dant, I think you're getting a little too aggressive, my friend. You're coming after a few too many pots here. Raymond's excited to take that one down pre. 3-5 picking up a straight draw on the turn here. From the big. What do we do on the river if we miss? We've got 5 high. Fire away. Wanted to see ace high in a pickle. I mean, nice call on the turn there by What If God. I mean, there's plenty of draws out there. There's a heart draw, straight draws. Eduardo, king 6 in the muck. Oxada, 3-bets all in with the ace 5. I was going to say, I wonder if this is a 3-betting hand. Without the suit, I thought not, but Oxada says, get the hell out of here, dude. He's going to limp in king 6 of diamonds. Queen 10-4, all hearts. 6 on the turn. Weird spot. Wonder if it just goes check, check. No, small bet from Oxada. 4 on the river. Alright. Okay, poker stars. What if God? Nice run of cards for them. I don't know if they get value here on the river. We'll see what Oxada thinks. Oxada does pay it off. There's just some, any heart, just one heart. There's some straight draws that missed. Makes sense. Blind on blind, things get different. It's hard to make pairs in this game. Boo 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 boo. Great Dant, open-ended straight draw here. Plays call, 9 of diamonds on the turn. What if God with the ace of diamonds isn't going anywhere just quite yet? Jams on the turn. 6-5 has to fold. I mean, some pairs have to fold there too. It's pretty crazy bluff there. Ooh la la. What if God flopping a flush? Wattenlos with the over card. The 2 overs that one's a spade. King of spades. Should have just said that, eh? Just look at the card and say what he has. That's all. That's it. That's your job. He will find a fold on the turn there. Looks to be priced out of the pot. Great Dant with queens. Sticking that all in. What if God with plenty of chips, but about 18 big blinds is still too many to be calling off. Do-ga-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Oxada. Jack 9 in the big. I expected to see a flop, but I don't know why. Oxada says, I'll just move along, preserve my chips for the time being. Hopefully somebody else busts, like maybe Eduardo gets in here with his 9s. Nope. We'll preserve his 25 bigs. Raymond with the ace king will take a pre. Do-ga-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. What if God Jack 6-0? Super big stack with Great Dant says, maybe I just 3-bet or fold. Okay. Do. What if God tack and Raymond's big? Raymond folds 4-6. And Raymond picks up queens. Raising it up and getting it through. And we move along. Queen Jack, oh. Raise it up. Get it on through. Am I wrong about it? Oxada might go to a flop this time. Ah, shit, he's wrong. 3 to a straight for Raymond. 2 overs. Gets it through on the flop. Top pair for Great Dant. That's cool. Small bet on the flop. Ace 9 comes along. Jack 10 gets there on the turn. Great Dant with top 2. Ace 9. What do? Would be a spicy call. What if he raises? Why would he raise? We just see a fold. King Queen for Raymond. Raising it up and getting it through. Moving along. That's what we do here. Uh-oh, Great Dant with 9s. He should be saved. Wattenlos with ace king might just jam. 9s fold. Kings for Raymond. Wattenlos needs that ace or jack. Oh boy, he smacks it on the river. Taking a huge pot away from Raymond. Oof. Sucks to see the kings get sucked out on, but Wattenlos loves it. Oxada taking the queen jack and getting king queen to fold. Very nicely done. What if God ace and a 10 and it's suited? Raymond flopping the flush draw. Ace 10 in the muck. We move along. King 10 suited on the button. Oxada in the small blind with ace 4 suited jams. And a quick fold from Wattenlos. Oh, I see queens. Queens for Wattenlos. Eduardo says, no chips for you, buddy. Raymond says, 8-8, let's play. Everybody says, no, we're not going to play today. King Queen off for Wattenlos. Raymond says, 5-10 suited, let's go. Flopping top pair. Wattenlos turning the flush. 5-6 makes a straight. Raymond comes along. Bad river for them. It goes check very quickly. So Raymond doesn't have to pay it off. Although he probably wouldn't pay a river bet there. Even with 3 of a kind, it's a weird spot. Well, Great Dant gets it in here. Jack on the flop, that will do. So I pick Great Dant out in 6th. What a shame. Wattenlows with queen queen. Just plays call already. What an interesting thing. As we saw earlier from What If God, and I was talking about, once you're these middling stacks, there's no 3-betting pre or something? I don't get it. Fives don't even pay a bet on the flop. The absurd tightness that occurs is just, it's unreasonable. I mean, it's actually completely reasonable. These dudes are talking about maths. It's like, just calculate some numbers and figure some shit out, dude. Ace 10, we'll rip it and take it for Eduardo. Bum, 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 bum. What's going on? Ace and a jack. King 3 in the big. Some 50 big blinds effective. 10-10 deuce flop. Very small bet. What if God folds? Move along. 10-10 for Raymond. Eduardo, queen and a 7. It's the same suit. Flop and top pair. Middle set for Raymond. Bad news bears. Backdoor flush draw, let's call. 6 on the turn, at least it's not a 7. Still hard to fold top pair here. What do we do? What do we do, Eduardo? Can he find the fold? He's thinking about it. Oh, he jams. Oh shit, he's dead. Oh no. Eduardo's out of here in 4th. Hard to get away from top pair. Oxado with top pair this time, and Wattenlows with the nuts. What a shame. And I didn't even realize Oxado's got 2 pair, so he's not getting away from this. Wattenlows playing it super tricky. Oxado's still probably jamming on the river here. There it is. Quick call from the ace 9. Sees the bad news. Nice little run of cards for Wattenlows. And now we're 3 heads up, or 3-way head. What the fuck? 3-way battle. About 80 big blinds effective. So the other EPT was a big super long 100 big blind heads up battle. This one could be a 3-way battle. That would be fun to see. Unless it's just a bunch of folding. That's not what we want to see. Raymond getting things started off with a raise out of the small. Using about a 4x sizing there. What if God doing the limps? We'll see if Raymond... Yep, right back to the 4x size. Wattenlows comes along, flopping bottom 2. Hard not to raise, but he does just find the call. Raymond with 8 high will give up. Doesn't pick up any equity. Just says, I'll move along. Ace King in the small blind, limping it in. Okay. Taking a stab. What if God says backdoor flush draw, queen high is no good. Wattenlows getting a walk. Wattenlows limping in queen 7. Jack 4 deuce flop. What if God takes it with a bet? 3 to a straight. Pair of 6s for what if God? 4 high for Raymond. Big bet on the river there. From the pair of 6s. Super interesting. Jack and a 10 of the same suit. Racing it up this time, okay. What if God comes along with king 7 suited? No spades for him. 6 on the turn. Straight on the board. What if God does have a 7 though? Hopefully Wattenlows can find the fold here. No, calls for the chop. That's a darn shame. Nice little pot there for What If God. Nice big value bet on the river. Ooh, Raymond getting ace high to fold there. Ooh, I see kings. Wattenlows the straight draw to a 7 ace high board. He comes along. Jack on the turn. Check, check. Oh, bluff. Can he get a pair of kings to fold? This would be quite crazy. What do you do with... Yeah, kings do just call. Spades miss. There's plenty of straight draws I miss. What if God with a pair of sevens? Raymond suited king. Ace, queen, queen flop. 1 diamond. Weird spot for king 7. Does play call. Boom, boom, boom. Puts in a very, very small bet on the turn. 7s come along. Quick check on the river there. What if God takes a nice little pot there? Raymond's 3-bet with 10s will get through. No action. Watt and Los with middle pair. What if God with bottom pair? He blocks the straight 2. Comes along to the turn. Check, check on the river. Raymond says, what if God, you stop it. Stop it now. Quit limping into my blind. Pair of 9s for Watt and Los will lead on out on the turn. Boo, boo, boo. What if God says, hey, there's a lot of straight draws, a lot of flush draws. What if I just fold? Just move along to the next hand. Ooh, 3-bet out of the big with a 7. 3-handed, I suppose it makes sense. You don't mind just taking it down pre-flop. Put a little pressure on Raymond, say hello. Don't forget about me, bucko. Hard to fold a pocket pair here. We're super deep, he could go set mining. King 7-7. Hard to fold to a small bet. 4 on the turn, jacks are still good. Checking it over though. 9 on the river. And it goes check, check. Nice little pot going Watt and Los's way. Do. 4s get a walk. King Jack and Queen Jack and 7-9 suited. 3 ways to a flop. Jack 7 deuce. Everybody with a pair. Do. Hard to fold. Top pair on the flop. Once you see a bet and a call with the pair of 7s, you can easily fold. 10 on the turn. What do we do with the queen and the jack? I don't know. This pot's getting big. We don't like it. 3 on the river. Super inconsequential card. King Jack bombs away and it won't get called by Queen Jack, so that value bet is unfortunately just going to value own itself. As we see, it is not getting called by the hand that it wants to be called by. And it's not getting called by worse. Do. I wonder if that's a player thing or if that's just the way things should go. And it looks like Raymond's already got an EPT title. So kind of rude of them going for another. You know, give these other gentlemen a chance to win. Do. 5 high gets the bluff through on the river there. What did Raymond have? Nothing? 9 high. I don't know why it was so important for me to go back and look, but I was wondering if he folded a pair. Did not happen. Raymond, ace and a 3. What if God with an ace and a deuce? 10 on the turn, 5 on the river, chopping it up. Ooh. Raymond says nope. What if God says yep? Hmm, 10-8 limping in, taking a stab on the king, 9-3 flop, and 3 to a straight flush. Watt and Los raises it up. Or 3 out of the 5 cards to a straight flush. Not that 3 in a row to a straight flush. Anyways, words are getting difficult here. Aces. I see aces. Limping it in. Oh, this heads up matches, or not heads up. This 3-way battle is getting silly. We're limping in aces, checking them down all the way. Might get called by king high. Nope. Ooh, 10's an ace king. Okay. Two very strong hands and a 3-bet from 4-6 suited. Ace King can just jam, right? It'd be about 15 million more. So he puts in the 4-bet and Watlos folds 10s. 4-6 is like, well, I'm getting a good price, but this is just a bad spot. Finds the fold. So we should have had a huge flip between the 10s and the Ace King. Instead, 4-6 suited fucks that up. Ooh, Kings. Limping it in, seriously? Nothing going on for 6-7. Just has to fold. No action for Watlos with the big pairs. Couple of ace highs. Are we chopping? We might chop. Queen will chop it up. Bet Raymond. Quick call by What If God. So again, Raymond's like, pay me. I got ace high. What If God says, yeah, I'll show you my ace. Do. Pair of 9s for What If God. That's kind of cool. Raymond with the backdoor nut flush. Backdoor straight draw. 10 on the turn. Pretty stupid card. Raymond might slow down. Pretty safe run out for the 9-8. Doesn't get much better than this. Ace high, thinking about it. Fold. No, Raymond does play call. Do. Unfortunate hand for Raymond. What If God? 154 bigs. Do. 3-bet from Raymond out of the small blind. Ace deuce. Watlos 4-bets. Ace Queen gets the job done pre. 90 bigs for Watlos. Do. Queen and an 8 folding on the flop. Jack 4 suited for What If God. Let's raise it up. 3 of a kind for Raymond. Not too bad of a deal. Goes for the raise on the flop. What If God could 3-bet? Would be weird. You probably don't want to have a 4. Boo. Especially you might want him to have like 4 or 5 of clubs if he's gonna have a bluff. So having that 4 or 5 or the 4 jack of clubs is obviously pretty darn bad. As both players here making top pair. I bet you we're gonna see another chop pot. Oh, let's just put a 4 out there. Oh, ace of clubs. So we're chopping. Another bet from Raymond, and another call from What If God. Chop hot. Blinds go up, thank God. Kings and ace-7 suited. Okay, Watlos flopping middle pair, backdoor flush draw. We're going to a turn. Queen is no help for a7. That diamond is no help. Big bet from the Kings. They get a little action. They get a little something. As Watlos 3-bets the ace-10. Raymond in position with queen 10. Oh, says I'll let it go. Maybe if it was suited. What If God staying nice and aggressive with the 8-7 suited? I like it out of the small blind. Putting a lot of pressure on Watlos. What's going to happen here? King 7 raise. Watlos comes along with ace jack. Queen 5 deuce flop. Raymond's stab doesn't get through. Not quite yet. King on the river. Watlos with the nut flush blocker. Could always get spicy here. Does jam. Holy shit, and you're putting king 7 in a pickle. King 7 with the king or the 7 of spades. What the hell do you do here? Raymond might fold. Oh, Raymond does find the call. Huge pot going Raymond's way. Huge bluff there on the river with the nut blocker. I mean, spades got there, so you're repping the flush. Deuces. Facing a 4x from the small blind. Queen 5 flop. Pretty safe for deuces. You might want to have the diamond in your hand. He even puts in a raise here for some protection. No surprise. What if God calls? Deuces are counterfeit. They're going to have to bluff here. Maybe you just think ace high is going to call you down, so you're giving up with the deuces. Gonna be an easy fold. Raymond thinking about bluffing, but he says, nah, probably just a horrific time. Raymond with a straight draw 2 and 8 will lead on out and take it on down. 68 bigs for them. Looking to take a few more here too. What if God? Don't you dare do it. 4-5-0. 3-bet from the ace king in the big. Wattenlos could jam, could call. You're in position. He folds. Okay, nicely done. Escape all the danger. I thought ace 10 was a play. I suppose jam is just horrific, right? So it might just be a call or fold. Boom, 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 boom. Pair of fives is good. Wattenlos does call it down here. Nicely done. 4 and an 8 limping it in. What if God checking it back, making a pair with the backdoor flush draw? We'll take it with a bet. What if God limping it in? Raymond says, move along, bud. That flush draw versus top pair. Wow. Action flop, very deep. 5-10, maybe not too excited. Jack on the turn, giving Raymond more outs. Any diamond, 7, queen, or ace. 4 will not do. It's hard to fire with the diamonds in your hand. It's hard to give up with a 9 in your hand. So it's a double-edged sword sort of thing. Yeah, but you move along and you get pocket jacks. What if God could defend here? Queen 10 suited. Only one club out there for him, 2 overs. That's not good. 4 million chips to go into 7 million. That's a pretty big bet. Boom, 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 boom. Queen and a 6. Nope. A jack and a 6 and a queen and an 8. 10, 8, 5 flop. Whoa, these songs are getting worse and worse. Jack on the turn. Oh. Stupid little straight draw to a 9 for Wattenlos with a pair of 8s and the hearts to go with it. Dose of hearts on the river. That'll do. That'll do. Queen and a 3, we're limping it in. Top 2 pair, checking it back. Taking it on the turn. Wattenlos with an ace and a queen, raising it up. Raymond coming along with queen 3 suited. Doesn't flop enough. He's like, come on, I could add a straight draw, I could add a backdoor flush draw or something. Second nuts for what if God. Just a stupid little straight draw to a jack for Wattenlos. He'll be able to find a fold. And we move along. 9s and 6s. This is kind of cool. Nope. Ace 10 for flop. 5 on the turn. Check down to the river. Ace pairs the board. Hard to have a pair here. What if God leads out? And a quick call from the 9s. Excuse me. Wattenlos with ace high. That's no good. What if God with the pair of 9s? Could try to get called by an 8. Ace high is not going to give you any value. That's rude. Do it, Raymond. Put some pressure on him. Ace high board. And what if God just folds the pair of 8s? What if God 9 and a 6? Wattenlos with a pair. It's a king high board, so he's gonna stab. It's 10 on the turn. It's a king king here and a king king there. King here, king everywhere, queen there, king there. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Raymond with the straight draw, drawing to a 9. They both had the spades on the flop. What if God sevens hold? And he's back to the same old song. Alrighty. 10-6 does block 10-9. Queen 7 still just makes a call down. Says, I don't give a fuck. Do. Not flush draw for Raymond. Open-ended straight draw for what if God doesn't come in on the turn. No pairs, it's going to be hard to call with the 8-5. Raymond checks it back though. Now he blocks straight, so what if God leads on out for small. Did do this with his pair earlier, pair 6s. Raymond even goes for some extra value, very greedy here. Ace 4, super greed. Watting low, stabbing with the 10-4 of diamonds. Queen 8 comes along, makes 2 pair on the river. Good give up by Wattenlos. Interesting stab on the turn. Do. Raymond taking it down on an ace high board. Boop. 8-6 with 3 to a straight. Raymond with a backdoor flush. Now a pair of jacks. Wattenlos plays the board, will quickly fold on the river. Wow. Ooh, interesting, spicy little raise here, Wattenlos. Queen 9-0 in position. Raymond with the ace will put in the 3-bet. Do. Oh, these silly limp pots, let me tell you, they're getting the best of me. What if God checking down the 4s? No action. Wonder if King High calls you here. We'll see. Nice play by What If God just to check down the pair of 4s. Gets a little value on the end in a spot where it didn't look like there was much. Ooh, Raymond, Queen 5-0. Staying aggressive. 3 of a kind for What If God. 3 to a flush for Raymond. Queen 5 in the muck. Move along. 8-8. Ooh, interesting. What if God does play 3-bet? Wattenlos could get crazy, but he just plays call King 10-8 or King 10-6 flop. 8s with the diamond feel like a call, but maybe you want to move along. Not quite yet. 4 on the turn. Small little bet will get the job done. No. Wow, Wattenlos says move along, Raymond. I've got 9 high. Let's build a pot. Raymond with deuces. King 10 suited comes along in the big. Bottom set for Raymond. 2 overs with the backdoor heart draw. The price is going to have to be good for him to come along. Does look to be that way. 4 on the turn. Wheel. Ace 3 gets there. 6-3. 5 on the river. A boat for Raymond. Almost a pot-sized bet out of the big blind. And we see the raise with the deuces. Could you imagine if What If God's thinking about jamming here? Must. Kind of thinking to himself, like, what the hell do you have? Did you really check back the turn? Wattenlos making the wheel on the river, facing a small bet, putting in a big raise, huge raise, 7 million, 5.8 or so to call, huge raise on the river there. Pair of 10s, no action. Wattenlos limping in King 3. Wow, how exciting. Jack 4, oh, let's go. Putting in the raise. 10-8-6 flop, 5 on the turn. Straight draw to a 7. Wattenlos leads on out. Gets it through. Boop-a-doo-doo. 4-7 suited. Face a 3-bet from the small. And a 4-bet from the big. Quick fold from the king queen. So 48 million, 49 now. There's what, about 50 left for What If God to collect? That's very interesting. So we got about 200 blinds in play. Pair of 7s for both players with the queen kicker for both players. What If God taking a stab? Raymond with the call. No, he folds. Holy shit, he found a fold. Oh, I guess there's a 1-liner to a 6. Right. Still finds a fold with the pair. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Another set of deuces for Raymond. Plenty of draws out there. Raymond goes for a big old bet. Call from 3-5. 8-7 gets there. King queen makes the nards. Queen 8 makes a straight. Flushes miss. Clubs miss. 3-4 misses? You're blocking that. Probably 3-5 doesn't sound the best to call down with. What if God still finds a call? Wattenlos getting nice and aggressive. 3 of a kind for What If God, though. 4 diamonds out there. Wattenlos could have put a lot of pressure on that 9, but he says no, not right now. Ooh, 10-3-0. Let's raise it up. Oh, and we get a 4-bet again. Raymond with the king deuce this time. He sniffed some bullshit there. Wattenlos, 3 of a kind, gets no action. Oh, that's so rude. 3 ways to a flop. Queen, jack, 5. Pair of 5s for Wattenlos. Raymond with the jacks. And now What If God with a pair of 6s and a flush draw. Deuce on the river. Raymond goes for some value. Let's see a bluff. Raise. He blocked 6-5. He blocked the flushes. Would have been a crazy little raise there on the river. 4-3 suited. Limping in. Flopping the flush draw and straight draw. Overbet on the turn. Wow. Wattenlos with the king and the queen. 3-2 a straight. Facing a lead. Super interesting. King on the turn. That's rude. Raymond leads on out again. Deuce on the river. Big old bet from Raymond. What the fuck is going on here? Wattenlos is like mystery range. Yeah, no kidding, eh? Almost, but value. Yeah, so Raymond's going for value there on the river. It's not. He's not turning his hand into a bluff. Trying to get called by some pocket pairs, I suppose. Like, what does 10s do there? I don't know if you're calling down. It is an interesting raise on the river. Hard to imagine worse hands that are calling. Would an ace high ever just get stubborn? My thing is like, I'm afraid of getting re-raised if I'm betting like that with a jack 9. But then if you get re-raised, it's quite an easy fold. 3-handed, maybe things get a little bit more interesting. Jack 7 more limping in. Queen 9 raising it up. Jack 7 comes along. A flush draw for What If God. Pair of 7s. We're going to go to a turn. 9. That's good for What If God. And a chick. Nice little bluff by Raymond. Taking the 9 or the 10 blocker. Straight blocker. Getting the pair of 9s to fold. That's what I was trying to say. Raymond, king and a 9. King and a 9, we're facing a raise. We're jamming. Wowie weewa. Wanting those down to 21 bigs. Uh-oh. King 9 comes along, picking up a straight draw. Got her to the jack, but you block some clubs. Goes check on the turn, though. Raymond, are we gonna bluff again? Let's see it. Bluff. Oh, it goes check instead. Ace high is good. What the heck's going on? Queen and a 4, limping it in. Making a pair of queens, stabbing and taking it. Wow. Raymond, let's go with 3-5. So Watnos will just get that through. Queen 5 for What If God. Backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw. 4 on the turn. We'll bring in the straight draws. 3 or an 8 for What If God. Queen 10 just folds, so we won't get to see the river. 10s are going to raise it on up. Ace 7 could jam. There it is. There's the jam. Quick call from 10s. He's going to need an ace. No ace, so we finally see Watnos bust. And we get this super deep heads-up battle. 85 big blinds deep. 80 fig. You know, the fruit candy. Raymond with a pair of 9s. Taking it down. Alright, so yeah, heads up gonna be a little bit different than the three-way battle. Although similar in some areas. Just like we're gonna see some king high calls. Gonna see some bluffs. That might look a little silly, like no equity bluffs. Pair of 7s find the fold there. Nicely done. What if God gets another chance with the 7s? This time he'll just take down the blinds. Blinds and antes again for What If God. Jack 3 limping it in. Raise from the king queen will get through. Ace king gets some action, but a 9 on the board. 9 on the board. Pair for What If God. Another 9 on the board. Plenty of draws What If God could have here. Any 8, any 7. Hearts get there. Jack 8 gets there. King Jack gets there. Raymond unblocking all the heart combinations. I'm just thinking, does he ever call there? Raymond says, no, I'm not calling with Ace King. So what I thought was interesting was truly not. I suppose the Queen of Hearts is a pretty bad card. Ace 5 getting some thin value here on a Jack high board. 9 million chips out there. This is a pretty big one. Small little bet though on the turn. What if God with a pair? He puts in the raise. Holy shit, after facing a check raise on the flop? Well, what does a pair of 5s do here? It folds. Nicely done by What If God. Sheesh. Well, that was a nice little hand there. Queen 6 getting Queen 6 out of the pot. Ace Queen gets a walk. That's no fun. Queen 4, 3x on the button. Okay. 8's in the big for What If God. 6-9 for Ramen. 6-9 in the muck. What If God. Raising it up. Using the 3x sizing on the button. Super interesting. 2.5x from Raymond. Flop and top pair. Middle pair for What If God. Ace on the turn. 10s are going to feel pretty comfy. Didn't want to see the big bet. Still plays call, of course. Hard to fold a pair of 10s here on the river. You're really not happy. You see a huge old bet there. If he can find a call, he is a god. What if God? What if? He does find the fold. Nicely done. What if God has gotten off to a great start here, heads up. And I mean, did a real good job of maintaining a big chip advantage while It was a three-way battle. My bad. I don't know why I keep saying three-way heads up. It's a little ridiculous as I keep hearing it too, you know? It's like I hear what I'm saying and it hurts. It hurts my ears. And I just see ace 3 raise on like a king 10x board. We move along. A pair of 7s for Raymond. 9 deuce facing the heat on the flop. Surely we fold. King queen suited, super strong hand. 6-3, not so strong. But every once in a while, we see these shitty hands raise pre-flop. I don't think I see it as much when we're deep. So that's an interesting note. But like I suppose once you get to about, maybe it's like between like 40 and 60, somewhere in that range, you start, I actually think it might be on the shorter end of that stick. So maybe around 40 big blinds deep, you start to see a lot of small raises from the button and then re-raise from the big blind, which is dog shit hands. And then the big blind typically wins that war. And they could even have the worst of it. So like 3-5-0 can get like 5-9 to fold. Whereas when you're a little bit deeper, I suppose some of these hands, they just play differently. As you're risking a little bit too much if you're raising a whole bunch of shit hands. Whereas when you're shorter, you don't have as long to wait for an opportunity. So you gotta take more stabs to try to preserve your chip stack. What if God with an ace? We'll just play call. I think we saw Raymond go for 3x sizing. No, 2.5 still. My bad. Blinds went up. Top pair, top kicker going for a raise on the flop. No surprise there. Get some protection, get some value. Raymond could 3-bet. There it is. Bad news for What If God. This pot is huge. 17 million out there. 10 on the turn. What if God's gonna need an ace or a 7? Ooh. Things are going pretty good over there. Huge bet. Might be able to fold the queens here with the ace on the river. 6-8 misses. 6-9 misses. 6-4 misses. Sheesh. The more I count out the straight draws that miss on the flop. Are they calling your 3-bet on the flop or are they just folding though? Unless it's the very good ones. You're probably only going to see... Well, I suppose ace-7, king-7, those are some hands you're targeting. And there's plenty of other 7s that might still call you down. So the ace is a weird card. The fact that he bets it would tell you that he probably has something going on, maybe even a set. This time, 2 pair. Raymond says queens are no good. It was the right fold. Just an unfortunate river card for them. There's a 1-liner to a 5 out there. Big ol' bet on the river. Just shy of pot. Raymond still calls with the pair of 4s. Nicely done. Getting a few chips back. Keeping the heads up battle alive. 60 bigs. Like, that's plenty of wiggle room. What if God with an ace and a queen? Raymond with jack 7. Letting it go. King and a 10 for Raymond. No action. 10-4. Flopping a pair. Backdoor flush draw. Raymond with the better 10. Leading out on the turn. Ace on the river. Still might go for some value against a 6 or a deuce. Worst 10x. Hard to fold the pair of 10s here. We do see the call from What If God. No surprise there. 73 bigs for Raymond. 8-5-5 flop. 4-6 with the straight draw to a 7. Jack on the turn. 8 double pairs the board. Ace high going for some value. Nothing to be had. 7-6. Raising it up. 2.5x. We'll see what sizing What If God's going with. Going for the min raises now. Interesting. changing it up. I don't know why. We're a little deeper. I expected the big sizings to continue. 3-5 with the open-ended straight draw will come along. 9 on the turn. 8 can go for some more value. Goes for a 2/3 bet. Gets it through. Ooh, 10 on the turn. Nice little card for What If God. Raymond just finds the fold with the king high. Eight five suited, eh? 8-5 suited. Ace deuce still good. And checks down. Wow. Kings. Woo. King 5 with no flush draw. Finds a fold on the queen jack 6 flop. Ooh, jacks. Couple nice starting hands for Raymond. Jack and a 6 will get it on through. Nothing's going on for What If God. 5 and a 6 flopping bottom pair. Turning the heart draw. Jack 4 doesn't take a no equity bluff. Small little bet by What If God. Raymond thinking about it with the 4 blocker. Jack high. Puts in the raise. Holy shit. What do you do with 5-6? Find a call. Would be one hell of a hero call. What If God? No, he finds a fold. Shit. Damn it. Nice bluff by Raymond anyways. I suppose I'm kind of cheering for What If God, as we've seen some nice plays from them. But Raymond's getting after it too. Hard not to root for them. Maybe I'm back to in the middle. Maybe I don't care who wins again. As we just about tied on up. 10-10-10 flop. King high goes for a little protection. And gets it through. Raymond raising it up. 2.5x. 5 and a 6. Moving along. Pair of 2s for What If God. Now it's 3 of a kind. Jack 7 won't do nothing here. 7 deuce. We'll just let him have the pot. 9 and a 4, eh? Look at this. This is kind of what I was talking about earlier. Except 8-7's a little bit better. It's got some more playability. But I mean like 3-5-0 going for the raise versus 9. Like, I said 9-5 earlier. But like even weird shit like Jack 5. You know, it could just get it to fold. It's just going to have way too hard of a time playing post flop. If we do get a little bit shorter. Boo, 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 boo. What the heck's going on here? Flush draw versus 9 high, eh? 4 on the river. Not the diamond Raymond was looking for. Queen high will just take it though. Anyways, so I thought What If God was going to bluff. My bad. Raymond checking it down. A pair of 4s is good. No stab from the 7-6 blocker. Raymond says we'll move along. Keep the heads up battle going. Pair of 7s. We'll check it back. Take a stab on the turn. No value to be had. 3s in the muck. We're waiting for our cooler. Wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of something happen. Queens this time, but no action. Ace queen. Like, I'm thinking we could still get 60 blinds in pre-flop. We don't need to go post-flop to get our cooler. Although, maybe it's more likely to get our cooler that way. There's even ace 10's calling pre-flop here. Flopping the nut flush draw with a straight draw to boot. Puts in the raise. 3 million chips to go. Boo boo do 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 do. What in the world? 10-6 taking a stab on an ace high board. 3 flush out there. Raymond with the nut flush blocker puts in the raise. Gets it through on the flop. Nicely done, Raymond. Now he's got 2 pairs in position. That's a good deal. What If God with nothing though? Just the ace high. Meow, 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 meow. Ace and a 7. Raising it up. Getting it through. What If God? Open-ended straight draw. Any 5 or 10 will do. A 9 also gets the job done. And the 9s hold up. Ace high on a paired board will make a call. Do. Sees the bad news. What if God? Flopping a set. Not a bad deal. Raymond stabbing away. The board's pretty dry. I would like to see a call. What if God just knows what's going on? King 10 with no equity. Do. And a sneaky check back. Holy shit, nicely done. Let King 10 bomb. No, it doesn't want to. Nothing you can do about that. You gave him rope. 8.4 million to go. Raymond thinking about it here. Thinking about calling down with the 8. Oh, we called down with the king high in a huge old pot. Sees the bad news. Oh no. Raymond down to 30 bigs. Wins a small one there. And gets walked, so 37. I suppose he's still got life. He's going to need a double up, but he's got a lot of work to do now. What if God with about 76% of the chips in play? Interesting stuff. Now, Queen and a 3 putting in the raise. Nicely done. 44 bigs for Raymond. So he's done a good job of picking away. Flopping a straight draw here. Gets it through. Ace and a king putting in a raise. Getting it through. 48 bigs. Okay, so it didn't need the double up. Just needed to fight. Pair of 6s ain't going nowhere just quite yet. 8 on the turn, giving Raymond the lead. Wow. Betting almost pot. 9 on the river. That's a weird card. 6-10 with the straight blocker. Might feel like calling down. He blocks 6-8, 9-6, 10 queen, 10-7. But he does just find the fold, so we move along. Raymond with an interesting little draw here. What if God with pocket kings? An 8 or a 3. Jack won't do. Raymond keeps firing. Blocking the 8-9 straight, which is the nuts. Ace on the river. Whoa, what do we do with kings here? Doesn't matter. Raymond checks it over. I wonder if he can go for some value. Quick fold by Raymond. Had the fold button clicked. We got some 10s. We got some 10s. Couple of pairs of 10s. That's what's going on with the 8 kickers. What if God with the pair of jacks and the 6 to come on the river? Raymond with ace high. Likes to call down with the high card hands. Not this time though. We'll just move along. 3 bet the old 9-8 suited. Queen jack comes along. Straight draw for Raymond. 10 or 5. Don't know if we're going to go to a turn even. Nope. Queen jack will just fold on the flop. Ace queen in the big. Raise it up. Raymond with a suited queen will just fold. 53 bigs for Raymond. As I said, he's done a great job of battling it out. After making the king high call. Boop-a-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Blinds go up. It's now 46 effective. Right around there, 47. Pair of jacks for Raymond. 3s and 7s for What If God. So here's our post flop cooler. How big does the pot get? Not huge. King on the river. Raymond going for some value here with the jacks. Bottom 2 pair. Does it even go for a value raise? It does. Raymond, 10 more million chips to call. Queen 10 gets there. 10-8 is a straight. It's an interesting spot there with the pair of jacks. Raymond unfortunately finds the call. Sees the bad news. The 2 pair was a cooler. You know, it was a top pair on the turn. What if God just so happened to turn 2 pair? Pretty bad deal of cards for Raymond. And I mean, so what if God's got this combination of running hot and playing good cards going on? And again, that's just the winning combo. Nobody can beat running hot with good play paired with it. The only way to beat it is with better play and with better luck. What if God with the open-ended straight draw? We'll just put the pressure on Raymond's high hand. I think he had 7 high. Oh, we are going to start to see the jams come in. Ace 10. Okay, it's limping. I said we're seeing jams. Then we see a limp. 9-3 blocking some straight draws. With 7 as an out. We'll get the job done on the turn there. 6 and a deuce with the backdoor heart draw and the straight draw to 5. Getting it through on the flop. Ooh, top pair versus flush draw. There's our bet. 2 million chips to go, and Raymond's just priced out of the pot. Interesting way to go about things. Raymond with 2 pair. What if God drawing to the queen? Probably not going to the river. Ace 5 versus kings. This gets in. Shit. He's gonna need a spade. Spade and an ace. Raymond hanging on in there. Heads up battle will continue. And again, so like, as blinds have gone up, Raymond's 1 double up away from being in first place, so the game is not over yet. Pair of 6s going for some value on the river here. Queen high makes the call. Nicely done by Raymond. Raymond stabbing with the queen high. Taking it down 3 to a straight. Queen and a 9 gets called by the jack and the 5 spades. Only 1 spade out there for him. 2 pair for Raymond. What if God says, I'm out of here? 3s raising it up and a fold. King 5 for Raymond. Top pair versus bottom set. Oh, pretty rude poker stars. Queen on the turn. King goes for some more value. I've seen top pair go for 3 streets, not on the 1-liner board though. Ace or 9. What if God unfortunately doesn't get some value there on the river from the top pair? 7 deuce for Raymond in the muck. Queen and a 10 says let's go to a flop 9-5-5. Oops, 9-9-5 I mean. Deuce on the turn. We're just checking it down. Queen high versus ace high. Double paired board. Go for some value. There's the value bet. Half pot. Spades get there. Raymond's thinking about this. No, he does just find the fold. King jack for Raymond. Ooh, 8-5-0. See, this is one of those spots. Trying to get some jankety hand to fold. King jack is going to come along. Flop top pair. Gut shot to the queen. 1-liner to a queen is out there, but that's top 2 pair for Raymond. Ace high board. What if God takes a stab? Picks up a straight draw to a 5. Could continue to tell the story. He's got 4 high. Pair of aces for Raymond. Let's go to a river. Right? We're going to a river, right? Ooh, we're not going to the river for free. What if God has to pay a few more? Basically a min raise there. 4-7 versus 4-7. You love to see it. 4-7 gets 4-7 to fold. Top pair for what if God. Raymond 2 overs in the backdoor flush. Backdoor straight draw. 3 of hearts. Interesting. Lead on out from what if God. Okay, picking his own price. 6 of hearts on the river. That's a dirty one. Very small bet from what if God. If you face a raise, can you find a fold? It's 3 of a kind heads up. 1-liner to a 4. If he finds a fold, that's pretty impressive. If he jams, jam is a bluff. There's the jam as a bluff. Oh my god, I called it. He fucking just jammed as a bluff. Is this value? No, it's a bluff. It's a bluff. He's getting the flush to fold. Oh my god, what a crazy bluff on the river there. Wee wah. Whoa, what a crazy play that was. What I thought to be horrific for What If God was just brilliant. Top and bottom pair here. Oh, when Raymond just turns 2 pair. Okay, GG. Great game, What If God. Great game. What else is there to be said? I'm excited to see where they started things off. I think Raymond was one of the big stacks. What If God. Oh my god, a fucking 7 on the river. Okay, that's a battle. We'll continue. Damn. Okay, so what so Raymond's right back in it. Banging off a 2-outer. Wow. Okay, so we're seeing real strange events here. 64 bigs though for Raymond. Almost caught up to What If God. It's almost like $90,000. Quite the expensive suck out there. If What If God can't get the job done in the end here, as he's had top pair, top kicker. Raymond with 3 of a kind. The run good versus run good is real. 3 of a kind. Do we ever put in a raise here? There it is. Ace 9 gonna have a hard time folding. Jack on the river. I don't know what to do with Ace King. This feels terrifying. Queen 10 makes a straight. 8-9 boat. 8 Jack a boat. Ace 8 a boat. Any 8x. It's half pot. It's a fair price. So what's some draws you could have? 10-7's a straight. Yeah, it's like, what is he bluffing with? 6-7? 6-7 maybe? Doesn't matter. We move along. Raymond in first place with 80 bigs. Holy shit. 2 pair here though for What If God. So they'll look to take this pot down. What a suck out there by Raymond. Wow, I can't get over it. Now What If God. I guess you're still pretty well tied. It's just anybody's game. We're just gonna have to watch, see what happens. Now ace and a deuce, ace and a deuce. What If God. But the king and a 4 folding on the flop. There's no pair moving along. King and a 7 getting a walk. We'll walk him out when he's got the strong hand. We'll fold our shit. King 4, let's raise. Ooh, 6-7 says I'll raise 2. 7 or no, not a 7. Ace, ace, ace flop. King high should be good here quite often. Queen on the turn, not the best card. Not the best card. Another bet by Raymond. Hard to call here with the king high, and he does 7 on the river though. So pretty shitty pretty shitty turn of events here for What If God. Unless he finds a bluff. Nope. I don't expect you're gonna put it all in there with king high as a bluff for your remaining chips. But it's a huge pot going Raymond's way. What If God, 3 of a kind, now a boat. King high with the old 2 pair for Raymond, checking it over. 5, nope, not a 5, 4 on the river. Both players block the 5-6 straight. Raymond don't pay though. We move along. Ace and an 8, raising it up, getting the call from the king 4. 7-5 deuce flop. And we see a raise from king 4. Okie dokie. Blocking straight draws and whatnot. That would continue. You can get ace highs to fold. Top pair for What If God with the top kicker. Betting pot. Only a 9 for Raymond for their straight out. As we see, both players make top pair, top kicker. Nope, not top kicker. There it is. There's the top kicker. As we see, both players make top pair, top kicker. We'll just have a chop hot, and we'll move along. Pair of twos. What do we do? One liner to a 5 out there. All the flush draws. We just check it down and win. Alright, not too bad of a deal. 9 deuce, flopping 3 of a kind. Ace high going for a little protection / value. Sees the check raise, bad news. Gonna see a lot of 7s, spades, maybe 8, 9 of hearts, but you block that. That's no good. 4 on the turn. So 5, 6 of spades would continue to fire. 5, 3 of spades. There's some hands you beat, but holy shit, the river's gonna be difficult to play. 3 of a kind is good, and blinds go up. Both players look like they got a straight, but they don't. Can you just see a 5 or 6? A jack will also do for Raymond. What if God was 6 high? Might bluff. He does fire another million into the middle. Raymond thinking it over. What size do I go? 6.8. Holy shit. Huge. I was thinking 4. 6.8. Me as well. That's a boat. That's a boat right there. And then we see top pair for what if God. What in the world is this? He blocks boats. Oof. It's kind of a cooler situation. Thankfully he checks back the turn. Can he even check back the river here? I don't think so, right? Probably going for value. There it is, unfortunately. Raymond sizing up a bet. What size does he go? He went huge last time, so I was going to say 12 million. This he says all in. Is this just it? You're blocking boats. This is what you would want to call down with. What if God still folds? It's like, it's such a weird thing. If you're not calling down there with king 5, were you calling down strictly with a 10? What if you got ace king? Are you still calling? Do you ever reckon he goes for a check raise all in with a worse king? Probably not, right? It's like boats are better. Boats are better. Probably 3 of a kind are better. So maybe if you have a 10, you can call down. It's such a weird spot. It's like I don't expect him to call with the king 5 per se. But I'm just thinking out like, well, if you're not calling here with king 5, then what are we calling here with? 3 of a kind. And like that makes sense, right? He's going all in. He's not saying he has nothing. He's saying he has 3 of a kind or better. So what are you going to call off with? Pair and a flush draw for Raymond. Top pair for what if God. Let's see a raise. Nope. Just goes check check on the river. What if God takes a 10 million chip pot? Queen 8-4 flop. Pretty fair turn for Raymond as well. With the flush drawn top pair, they'll just take it. What if God? What if God? What are we gonna do? We face a bet, and we're gonna find a fold with our 7 high. Ace 4 for Raymond. Ace high board in position. What if God says, I'll put a stab out there. Face a check raise and just fold. Does this get in? Do we just flip here? There it is. No ace or queen yet. The board doesn't pair, so what if God's surviving? Pretty well tied up. 57 bigs to 65. 3.4 million chips in the middle already. Top pair, we'll get a call from middle pair. Wowie wee wah. Bad time to run out of water. Happened when Raymond hit the 2-outer. Raymond 4 and a 3, taking a stab. Dook-a-doo-doo, 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 deuce and a 6 versus 10 and a 6, and we're both suited. We're 3-betting pre, getting it through. 61 big blinds effective. Ooh wee wee wah. 60 to 64. Threes are still in the lead. Gonna have a hard time continuing, but they aren't gonna face a bet. Jack on the river. King 10 makes a straight. Raymond with threes. We do just check it down with the ace high. In what if God's shoes? Do. Both players were 7-10. This is kind of cool. 7-10 does find the fold. Pair of nines for Raymond. 3 on the turn. Changes nothing. No straight outs for what if God. Just king high. And they let it go. Ooh, what if God making a pair forward? Pardon me. 3 to a straight for Raymond. Now drawing to a 7. We'll check back the turn. Let's see a bluff. You got 6 high. Fire. Oh, he just checks it down. Hoo-wee. Super tight. Super long heads up battle. Super deep. Jack 4 diamonds, eh? Going for a stab. 8-7. Thought about it for a second with 3 to a straight. Ooh, queens. Queens are pretty. King Jack flop. Pretty shitty flop for the queens. Checking it down to the river where what if God makes a pair. Puts out a value bet. Raymond thinking about raising. Pretty dirty river, poker stars. Quick call from what if God's 10. Sees the bad news. Does flop a flush draw. Raymond with top pair. Check down what if God says I'm not going to pay your river bet there with your pair kings, and this is 7 kicker. Raymond with 5s, pair of 6s for what if God. King on the turn. Slow down from Raymond. 4 on the river. What if God blocks 7-5? Leads on out. Raymond blocks 7-5 a little bit better. And the diamonds as well, so he plays call. Nice little thin value bet on the river from the pair of 6s. Pair of 9s for the 69. A queen on the turn is good news. Don't want to see Raymond bomb it, so they do slow down. That's good news for 6-9. Going for some value here. Pair of 2s might even pay it off. There we go. We see the value bet get called. Excuse me. What if God? What are we doing? We got queen high and now a pair of 5s. Raymond, which is jack high, blocking the 6 and the 7. Probably wants a diamond blocker over the straight blocker. Might even want a full house blocker over the flush blocker. I think that was a paired board. I sure hope so, otherwise I'm going to sound real silly. Pair of kings might pay off a bet here. Jack pairs the board. 5-8 still good. Heads up, it's hard to fold a pair. What if God with the floosh? Going for some value. 9.6 million chips. This would be a huge pot. It'd be 30 million if he calls. Already 21 million anyways. About 20% of the chips in play. That's kind of cool to think about. Like each pot is frickin' 2% of the chips in play as we see kings versus ace-9. 50 big blinds deep. I don't think it gets in. Going to a flop though, right? Oh boy, ace-9 puts in the 4-bet. Kings 5-bet all in. Ace-9 folds. Okay. We move along. King-queen for Raymond. King-8 for what if God. What if God does find the fold? Did he play limp there? Shit, I don't know if I saw that. Raymond not playing limp. Ace and a deuce. Might hear from the straight draw. Very small re-raise. What if God will get it through though? What if God is not playing limp right now? No. Raymond raising the ace and the 10. Getting it through. Ace and an 8 for what if God. 5 and an 8 for Raymond. Boop 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 doo. What if God? Ace and an 8 facing a limp. We'll raise it up and get it through. Queen and a 9 will raise. Ace and a jack will re-raise. Queen and a 9 will fold. Nothing too exciting happening. Pair of 7s for both players. King on the river. We got a trap pot. Right. King 7s. 10 and the 5. Chop pot. What if God? Backdoor flush draw. Straight draw 2 of 5. Raymond with top pair top kicker might just get him out of the pot here. No, he plays call. Diamond on the turn. Raymond with a nut draw blocker. Gonna be a weird spot. Ace 8. I don't think it needs to turn itself into a bluff. Just going for some... I don't know what the hell. Is this value or is it bluff? Blocking the boat. Blocking the nut flush. We see a jam on the river from the flush. I'm guessing it was a value bet, and now you're just in an unfortunate spot, and you're like, well, what are you even going for value with? And he does find the call. He's like, well, I block all your fucking value hands, man. Nice little value bet there on the river by What If God. Not surprised to see the call down either once you talk it out. Sheesh. So how long with the heads up battle do we have? Okay, so it's maybe only 30 minutes or so. Oh no, maybe more like 40. Anyways, yeah, so a 40-minute heads up battle. That's a nice, another long heads up battle to see, kind of learn what the pros are doing. And yeah, our 2 big stacks, okay. What If God and Raymond, they came in. Watnos as well, put on a good show. Oxada, I liked what they did with the middling stack. Coming in what, 3rd last? 4th last? You don't expect them to do anything but wait for ladders. They actually did the opposite of that. Orp the Turk, unfortunately, just was a short stack. Couldn't get it going. Eduardo did a good job of battling it back off the short stack. Ben CB, unfortunately, we didn't get to hear from. Same with Pivgar. Just a couple unfortunate happenings. Great Dant. My pick didn't do as good as I had hoped, but I did still get to see some of what I expected out of them. Just attack the shorter stacks, including Oxada at some point. But anyways, that was the last of the EPT 2021. If you made it through a couple of these, thanks for checking them out. If you didn't, don't be afraid to go and look for them. Yeah, there's a couple cool ones. Very, very informative. Even though it's from a couple years ago, these guys play like monsters. It's always fun to watch. So adios.